They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harris. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. This will be fielded at the 17. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, nice move. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got Moncrief. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first quarter lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he spins away. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Escaping the pressure right. Pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side.
Maybe a little gassed,
right?
right?
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He's going to wind up. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll turn and throw into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Mostert. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning.
Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fends him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play on 3rd there for the Steelers. 59 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Demaryius Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but moments here in the second quarter, they don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So out now come the Jets. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep for Moncrief. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for John. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the pressure gets to him again. Avery Williamson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll drop to throw. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. The Jets on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's to the 10. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a...
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. James O'Shaughnessy, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. And just a short gain that time as they call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's got some space here. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Oh, the spin. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
New York set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here is another interception. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Rankins getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles. And how about this, a fake? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll set up a throw. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep for Demarius. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Demarius Thomas with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defense.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Are you one of those guys?